There we go. That's why I check these things. I've just realised I was on mute all of that time. I'm glad I check now. Need to hear myself on. That's why I checked. Realised I was on mute all of that time. And you didn't hear what I was just saying about everyone. Cool. Good job it was on mute as well. Anyway, moving on. We are at Spa-Francorchamps in the Belgian countryside. Belgian, that place that's famous for Hercule Poirot, I believe. Yeah. Stella, is that from Belgium? I believe. Chips and mayonnaise, and yeah, struggling. Oh, the place where the Germans counterattacked in World War II in the Battle of the Bulge. There we go. All things famous things for Belgium. And now I've just pissed off an entire country. We shall carry on. Here we are, race 2 of the evening, race 11 is round 5. We reverse the field from the previous race. So sandbagging Scott, who deliberately obviously turned his internet off so he could get pole position for race 2, is here in his Porsche at the first place. Busby in a Lambo is his second. He had one spin and that was him done for the last race. Duncan in his what is that? Is that the Lexus or is that I can't remember. Or is that the Mazda? Oh, no, it's not the Mazda. I think it's the Lexus, isn't it? Let's see. Anything inside? No, I can't see it. I'm going to call it a Lexus. I do apologise if it's something else. Or is it is that the Lexus Infinity? I think it is. Berserker Boy, myself, here in a Porsche in 4th place. Steve in an Aston. Oh, lovely. Oh, Aston. You all know me and Astons. Benji in a Jag here in 6th place. Tyre Slayer in a Citroen here in 7th. Ginge in the Lambo 8th. Gary in a Ferrari 9th. Staffy in another Ferrari had a superb drive last race. Did Staffy? Well done, mate. In 10th place. Stevie Scooby was boring because he just ran off in the last one. And that was that. So I've got my more coffee ready. I just need to blow my nose. And we shall crack on with race 2. As you can see, there's 3 lights already gone. So let's go. Sorry about the flicking. Let's go up front from this point of view, see if we can see anything. So 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. We could all count. Go, go, go. We're at Spa-Francorchamps. Here we go then. Here go the boys streaming down to turn 1. Why is it not showing me the names of the drivers? Hang on. Let's just put that on. There we go. Driver names. That's what. There we go. That's better. There we go. So Scott's got a good start. We all got through turn 1. I remember that turn as the Nigel Mansell corner because I remember Nigel Mansell going wide there deliberately. Speaking of wide, someone went wide then. I think it was Tyres there. I'm not quite sure. But in the meantime, here we go. Eau Rouge. Up through Eau Rouge. And the GR4 cars is not quite as hairy as it is in the GR3s. But I was looking back here. This is where the action is. We've got Gary sniffing around the back end of that Jag. Coming down the Kemmel straight. Can Gary make a move on Benji? I think he can. It also looks like Staffy's making a move up as well. He's past Busby Boy. Busby's got a terrible start in that Lambo. Oh, he's got traction control, everything on at that Lambo at the back. You can see there, red lights flashing as the... I can't remember what those settings are called, but he's got every sort of assist on. Staffy there looking up the inside of Gary. Here we go, Gary. Sorry, Staffy on board. Down here, through this section, get on the AstroTurf on the right and you're in big trouble. Is Staff going to make a move here on Gary? Coming into the big long left. I can't remember what it's called. He blocks him off. No. So everything's good at the moment. So let's go back up front with Scott. Oh, he drifted the rear of that Porsche out. This is Scott's first race in the Porsche. I've been racing the Porsche all season so far. 1, 2, 3. Steve in the Aston and the Citroen there, but coming around the back straight. Everyone's line astern. Still on board with Duncan here in the Genesis. There it is, it's the Genesis. Got it in the end. Wasn't a Lexus. I remember that. Ooh, nice side-by-side action there. Elbows out as tyre slayers having a look at Steve. Coming through here. But everyone's coming into the heavy braking section, into the bus stop chicane. Steve's taking an inside line, very defensive line. Tyre slayers blocking Ginge in the Lambo. We all know Ginge is a very, very quick driver. He's got another Husky on that Lambo, so he's looking good in my eyes. Here comes Ginge coming down to turn 1. Past the start finish straight. Is he going to take Tyre Slayer into turn 1? Oh, he's thinking of Steve as well, but he's definitely got Tyre Slayer. Steve goes wide. Oh, it gets on the AstroTurf. There we go. That's the problem with getting on the AstroTurf, mate. You're going to, excuse me, you're going to spin it up, and he's recovered. Oh, disaster for Steve. In the meantime, back up front, Scott screaming down the Kemmel Straight. Let's see what speed he can get up to in the Porsche. Got traction control on though. He's wimping it out, unlike Berserker, who's not got traction control on. 144 in the Porsche. So these three boys, Scott, Fast JMS, Berserker, started to get out a bit of a gap between Ginge. He's got past Tyre Slayer and Benji in the Jag. Staffy here in 7th, so Staffy's got up through the field. Gary's moved a little bit. Stevie Scooby hasn't moved a bit. So Busby Boy has come out worse through all that. He's back in 10th place with Steve back in 11th. Here we go, Scott. Round in this long corner. So the weatherman has said, you can see just above there will be rain in this race. It's just a case of how much. And the word for the day is moist. Will the rain bring enough moisture to make the circuit moist or wet? Answers on the postcard please, but you can see this, the moistness is collecting above the circuit as we speak. It's not going to show me the weather thing down at the bottom right, so it's going to give me the track map. It looks like Duncan, oh sorry, this is the one I want. It looks like Duncan in the Genesis is, oh, he's lifted there. I was about to say, it looks like he is slightly catching Scott. Scott comes into the bus stop. Oh, heavy flickage there around the last corner. So the fastest lap, yeah, I thought Scott, Duncan was doing quite well. Fastest lap so far the race, so there's only lap 2 is Duncan done a 2:29.6. Oh, look at those dark clouds gathering. Scott's doing pretty well in that Porsche as well. Slight sheen to the circuit as he comes through Eau Rouge. Duncan closely following him behind as Berserker Boys keeping tabs on the two cars in front as well. But here comes Ginge, then Tyre Slayer, Benji, Staffy. Gary's picked up a half-second penalty. Stevie Scooby in an Aston. And Busby and Bowman just off at the back at the moment. Because of the weather, though, it'd be worth keeping these boys in mind. It's not one of these races where the guys at the back might stay there now, because we all know how the weather can change the dynamic of a race depending on what you choose. But here we go, Scott chickening out from taking the track control off. I'm going to rib him about that every time I get the chance in his Shell Hilux Ultra livery there. Duncan's definitely catching, and they're pulling away a little bit from Berserker, who's being caught now from Ginge. The Gingaminga is reeling in Berserker here for the third place. Berserker, myself, not a huge fan of Spa. I never seem to do that well here, if I'm honest. Although I have to say, the Porsche at Spa just felt kind of like good. I did like it. So we all know the Porsche is a very quick car, and there's a bit of an eclectic mix to the field this race rather than the last race. So it's going to be interesting to see how these different manufacturers cope. But here we come with Ginge creeping up to the tail end of Berserker here, coming into the bus stop chicane. Is he going to try and outbrake that Porsche? I know the Porsche is pretty good at braking, to be honest. Nice line there from Berserker. That gets a bit squirrely at the exit of the last corner. That little sideways action of that Porsche bash end, just enough for Ginge to have a look up the inside of Berserker and cleanly takes the position. Nice driving there for Ginge, but here comes Berserker on the switchback. Oh, here we go. We're going to go through Eau Rouge side by side, are we? Can the Porsche get any further? No, it's not worth it. I think Berserker's going to back out. Yeah, he backs out. But surely the Porsche is going to have the legs on that Lambo right up the arse of the Lambo, in fact, going through the Camel straight. Berserker was right in the tailpipes of that Lambo, but it's just pulled away. I think I had to bail out a little bit. I didn't think it was worth fighting too hard. But you can see Ginger's just starting to eke away. Right, so let's go through what's going on at the moment. We have Scott in first place. He's definitely now been caught by Duncan in that Genesis in second. Nice livery in that on that Genesis as well there. Duncan to do like that Golf. Ginger's in third. Berserker's in fourth. Ooh, Tyre Slayer is in fifth. The lights are coming on, so it's getting darker. The windscreen wipers aren't going yet. 9 minutes into race. Staffy's in sixth. Still got Benji for company as Benji bins it wide. But Hanger is going to keep that position. I don't think you get a penalty for going that wide there. As you can see, Stevie Scooby is still in the shout, in with the shout. Gary in ninth, but someone's dropped out. I thought, where's oh no, Stevie Scooby's up to eighth. He's obviously got past Gary. I missed that one. Nice livery on that Aston Martin. Let's go on board and indulge myself with the sound of an Aston Martin. Oh, Aston on Jag action. We do like some of that. Stevie hasn't quite got the legs on Benji to outbrake him into the bus stop chicane, so they go around again. Oh, but no! Benji gets it horribly wrong. Let's go back. Just lights the rear of that Jag up at the exit of the bus stop chicane. Oh, he gets on the AstroTurf. That's what it is. The green stuff's done him. Oh, he's well held though, Benji. Not very good crashing. Average crashing, in fact. Because you didn't hit anything. But well done for keeping it on the black stuff in the end. Good stuff. There's Busby back in 10th and Steve's way back in 11th. For now, at least, anyway. The weather could change the whole scenario of everything. So we're really now just waiting for the weather to come. You can see the lights have come on. Everyone's lying astern. The race has settled down. Berserker's in fourth, being caught by Tyre Slayer in fifth. Slowly working his way backward is Berserker. Staffy in the Ferrari 6th, Stevie in 7th, Gary in 8th, Benji 9th. We're all sort of spread out, pausing and waiting to see how moist this race will get. And if you don't like the word moist, then you've come to the wrong place. line astern right now. Right, I'll go through the lap times because I think once it starts raining, obviously the lap times are not going to get any better. So Scott's done a 2:29.3 is his fastest lap. The fastest lap of the race is Ginge, a 2:29 nearly flat. Duncan's done a 2:29.4. There's Ginge with his 2:29 for flat, and he's catching right up to the back end of Duncan. Berserker's best is a 2:30.2. Even despite that, he's still hanging on to fourth place. But you can see why everyone's catching him though, because there's Tyre Slayer in fifth, and his best is a 2:29. His last lap, 2:29.7. Let's see what the Citroen Power is like compared to the Porsche at one of the fastest sections of the track. Obviously the Citroen's going to get the benefit of the slipstream here. Oh yeah, you can see where you heard, sorry, Tyre Slayer just back out of it a little bit. He's got it flat out through that kink though, so it's not making. Is he going to go for a last minute lunge? No, he doesn't. Oh, he does there though. Gives Berserker a little tap, a slight little love tap. And I've also just noticed that if I go back, Ginge has got second place from Duncan. Duncan's obviously got it slightly wrong somewhere, and he outbrakes Duncan into the bus stop chicane. Duncan gives up the place, gets a lot of inside curb, but unsettles the car. Here's Berserker and Tyre Slayer still battling it out for fourth place. Staffy in sixth, Stevie in seventh, Gary in eighth, Benji still there in ninth. What I was meant to say the lap times, didn't I? So we've got to Tyre Slayer 2:29.7, 2:29.7 for Staffy. Oh, Stevie's got it wrong. He's got a 2:29.7, but he's done something very similar there to what Benji did in the Jag. He's just got it too wide. Was it Steve? I think that's the line he's deliberately running at. I'm pretty sure that's Steve was the one that was going very wide at turn one on purpose before, but it's come out and bitten in big time now, because it's dropped him right back. And see here, Busby boys not too far behind now, but Busby's still in front of Steve in 11th place. But Ginge has done a 2:28.7, so Ginge is the man on the move at the moment, reeling in Scott in that Porsche just up ahead. Scott's best is a 2:29.1, Ginge is a 2:28.7, so 0.4 of a second. Catching him fast. Duncan trying his best to hang on, had a bit of a mare that last lap. But this is the only battle we got at the moment, really. Berserker's still hanging on to fourth place, but it looks like the machinations of Tyre Slayer in that space age looking Citroen sizing up an opportunity to get Berserker's pulled away a little bit again. So the strengths and weaknesses of the cars have been spread out through this circuit. You know, I do remember the Porsche being good at some bits and worse at others, and the cars around me close in and move away. So it's a good track in that respect. There seems to be something for everyone, as it were. Good at part of the circuit where everyone's got an advantage somewhere. Everyone's got about 1 to 2 second lead. There's Berserker's, Tyre Slayer, Staffy, Gary in the Ferrari, Benji. Oh, Benji's binned it again. The binning Benji. What's he done this time? Has he got it on the green stuff yet? AstroTurf strikes again. Oh, that's the second time Benji's got it wrong on the green stuff. He's just dropping him down, place after place. So Busby's. Can he catch him? No, not quite. But Stevie Scooby goes back up to 8th place. It's 15 minutes in. We're halfway into the race. And there's no rain yet. But it's looking decidedly much darker, I have to say. murkier, I think is the word. Murkier and maybe not quite moist yet. So while we are, let's go on board this Staffy. While we are waiting for a moment, I shall have a quick drinks break. I said Staffy, but I actually meant tyre. Let's go on board a tyre slayer. He's still trying to find a way past Berserker, because see Berserker there just starting to reel in as Berserker dips into the 229s, starting to reel in fast JMS. It's the closest I think Berserker's been to Duncan, so but he's bringing Tyre Slayer with him. Oh, Berserker nearly gets the half-second penalty. I'm going to stick with this shot just in case he did. No, Berserker avoids the half-second penalty. It's very close to getting it though. Nice pyjamas, Tyre Slayer. Do like it, the fact that some people have a look at changing their outfits. So it's all a bit line astern. Not a huge amount going on at the moment. Oh, sounds like Ginger got it wrong. But the rain is on its way. We haven't got much longer to go. And I know it kicks off when the rain comes. We still got first 5, 6. Still thereabouts. That was Gary having a lonely race in 7th. Steve, you're trying to catch up to Gary. Benji trying to keep ahead of Busby. Busby's caught up to Benji, and Steve's catching Busby. So they're all sort of concertinaing together at the back a little bit. In the meantime, here's Scott cruising around with his traction control on, being a wimp. In first place, making it really quite boring. Oh, Ginger's got a half-second penalty. Obviously cut the track somewhere. Let's go. Come on camera. Come on camera. There we go, camera. There we go. This is a great shot. Watching him come up through through Eau Rouge. Berserker's lost 4th place. The Tyre Slayer. Tyre Slayer went round the outside of Berserker at the bus stop. Oh, and Berserker nearly outbreaks himself, but you can see Staffy. Let's go on board with Staffy. Staffy's now looking at the back of Berserker boy. So this is really where the closest battle is at the moment, but Ginger's definitely catching Scott up front. And where's Gary? Gary's quite a way off at the moment. Always Berserker goes wide turn 1. But gets a nice drive at exit turn 1. The stay on board here with Staffy through Eau Rouge to see what the Ferrari's like. The sheer horsepower compared to the Porsche. The sparks flying from that Porsche, but here we go. The rain is on its way. The windscreen wipers are on. This is where the fun begins. Let the moistness begin. Oh yeah, Scott's definitely dealing with rain. I'm looking at the marker, bottom left, to see the, or as I'm going to call it, the moist meter. Not registering anything just yet. But you can see the rain starting to splatter on the surface of the track. Oh, here we go. Just starting to register it, the water on the surface of the track now. All getting through. Tyre Slayer keeping ahead of Berserker. Oh, here we go. Staffy now catching up to the back of Berserker. Berserker's dropped back to 5th under the Spa Bridge. It's just before we get to see any pit stops, just see where everyone is. So Gary's on his own in 7th. Stevie is 8th. Benji's 9th. Busby's 10th. Steve is 11th. Busby's still hanging on to the back of Benji there. You can only just catch up a little bit more. Oh, Steve's on intermediates. Didn't realise Steve had changed. Steve's already whipped on the inters. Is he going to pull a fast one over everyone else? But here we go. Scott's into the pits. Ginger's into the pits. Duncan is not into the pits. Tyre Slayer into the pits. Berserker's into the pits. Staff is staying out. Staff is on racing soft. Now, are you ready for a laugh, everyone? We did have a laugh at Tyre Slayer's expense here. He comes into the pits. He knows what's coming. He knows what's coming. He comes into the pits on racing softs. As everyone else comes into the pits as well. Is anyone staying out? So it's just... So Steve's already changed. So it's just Duncan on his four-wheel drive staying out, and Staffy staying out. Scott's come out on inters. There's Tyre Slayer. Tyre Slayer comes out on the same set of racing soft tyres that he went in on. That's right. In the chat lobby, he went into the pits. Oh, there we go. The mayhem's about to install. I'm sorry, mate, but it was funny. He's got picked up a penalty for it now as well. Tyre Slayer went into the pits and realised he hadn't bought any other tyres apart from the slicks. He didn't have any inters or anything. So here I am in 6th place. Oh dear, this is the Wits Watchers. Here we go. Poor old Tyre Slayer on those slicks with a penalty in 5th place, having such a great race, but because his race engineer was a bit remiss. Here we go, good crashing. Oh, punts it into the first one. Did he spin it? No, he doesn't spin it at all. That's quite boring crashing, actually. But poor old Tyre Slayer has gone from 5th place down to 6th in a hurry, and I think he's going to lose a whole load of more spaces very quickly. So, in the meantime, though, while we have a giggle at Tyre Slayer's expense, Duncan stays out on racing soft tyres when it's mostly moist circuit, and here he goes off the circuit. Now I know he's got a four-wheel drive car, but this is a big gamble. He's got a 2-second penalty now on top of that, and we've gone from mostly moist with bordering on full-on wet. Staff was the other guy that went out. Oh, Staff's crashed it as well. Oh, here we go. Oh, he's proper crashed it. Proper crashing, proper wrecked the car. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go on board a proper crashing Staffy. Here we go. Back end's got, oh, that's good. 360, bang! Not quite 360, that was 270 actually. But it's properly wrecked the front of that car. And where's Scott? Here comes Scott and his inters. Is he going to join? Oh, Scott's having a bit of a Larry time as well. But he's soon going to catch up to the back of Staff. So Staff, and I don't know if Duncan's going to come in or not. But there goes Scott, eases his way past Staffy quite easy. Staff's probably regretting his decision now. In the meantime, Ginge on inters there. Berserker Boy on inters. Gary on inters. Tyre Slayer. Oh, mate, I feel your pain. I'm laughing at you now, but oh, mate, that must be so painful that night. Stevie Scooby on full wets in 8th place. Benji on inters in 9th. Busby on inters in 10th. You see, Busby still can't quite catch up to that Jag, but now with all those aids on, this traction control, the stability control, that sort of stuff, it is going to help him. As you can see, here's Busby. Really close now to the back of Benji in that Jag. He's getting a good drive in that four-wheel drive Lambo. Can he stick it around the outside? Benji's leaning on Busby, but Busby takes a position. Great driving there from BB. Busby boy. You can see as Benji's still struggling with the power of the rear wheel drive. He's got the traction control on, but there goes Busby boy. He's gaining a place. Great driving, mate. Steve's doing a nice bit of drifting here. That's divine. In the meantime, Duncan still. Where are we on the circuit? He's going through Eau Rouge again. He's still on racing softs. Full wet conditions now. We've gone from mostly moist to full wet. We've dipped into the dark blue, or darker blue. Scott's picked up a half-second penalty. What was that about then? 3, 4, 5. Oh, what's going on here? Scott goes deep into the bus stop chicane. Getting it wrong at the exit of the bus stop chicane. Oh, gets a little... Let's go. I wish the camera would show me a bit more. Right, let's go back to this view. So Scott's going to get the arse of that Porsche out wide. Ginge gives him a little love tap. They both have a little cuddle, and that just allows Staffy on racing. He's still on racing softs. Goodness me, Staff has taken back second place on racing soft tyres in full wet, but there he goes, spinning like a top at turn 1. So Scott and Ginge, oh, that's just hilarious. Scott and Ginge hustling with each other. Let's go back with these two going through Eau Rouge. Nothing there. Oh, Scott's getting very leery in that Porsche. He's fighting and fighting and fighting. That's just allowed Ginge to get through. There goes Ginge. Easily takes Scott along the Kemmel Straight. Staff coming along the Kemmel Straight, still in racing soft tyres. Here's Berserker on Inters. On his own at the moment, in 5th place, sort of in the middle of no man's land at the moment. Gary on Inters here in 6th place. Stevie in wets in 7th. I've just heard Gary. Is that Gary just going past? Yeah. So Stevie might be catching up to Gary, but it's back into weather area rather than wet weather area. So where's Busby? He's not too far away from Steve. Benji, Tyre, and Steve Bowman back here in 11th. So that early change is not really... Well, Steve lost a lot of time. He's way off the pace still. Unfortunately for Steve. But in the meantime, here we go. Ginge. Making better the conditions than Scott. He's got into 1st place. Starting to pull away. Oh, I've got a feeling Scott's binned it. Because where Ginge wasn't in the lead. 4, 5. Oh, there's Duncan. I forgot about Duncan. Duncan on the racing softs at the Kemmel Straight, full wets. Yes, he's got 4-wheel drive, but this is a hot spot for a braking zone up here. Is an absolute nightmare on 6 and smashes it into 360. Oh, that does another 180 on top of the 360. He's trying to get out of the way. There's Ginge and Scott go through, and he crashes it again. Oh, fantastic crashing. There's a full another 360. Staffy's still out on slicks as well. Where's Berserker? Berserker's catch up to this group surely. Yeah, there he is. On board with Berserker. You can see Staffy and Duncan just up ahead. As these boys really struggling for grip and damage. Scott's now dropped off in the back of Ginge. Ginge is pulling away. So let's go back to this little battle here. The battles of the racing softs and wet conditions. Here they come. And Berserker boys now, just like Jaws, closing in on these two. And there goes Staffy again. Staffy must be having a little chat with us. It's crashed it after crashing it. But they're, Berserker boys through. Oh, I'm starting to lose it now. Gather yourself, Pete. Gather yourself. There goes lap, sailing off into the distance. Berserker Boy cruising round now. Duncan's got 1.5 second penalty as Berserker eases out the inside ear of Duncan. Cleanly through. Duncan with a 1.5 second penalty for crashing and not changing his tyres. He's dropped from 1st to 4th. The Gary on the Inters is up now to 5th. Daffy's on the slicks with a wrecked car in 6th. Stevie's on wets. Is he going to get? He's easily going to get past Staffy's. Staffy probably needs that Aston there to lean on to keep him on the track. So Staffy's down to 7th. Considering his life choices at the moment, thinking it's gone horribly wrong for him. Where's Busby? Busby's not far behind and he's on the right set of tyres. There's Staffy. There's Staff on Racing Soft. Does Staff ever come in? There's Staffy just up ahead. So Busby boys could sniff another position here. There's Benji. Benji looks like he's finally getting to grips with the Jag. Tyre Slayer. Oh, bless him. I forgot about Tyre Slayer. He's been on slicks as well all this time. Still on track and he's not last. Unfortunately, Steve's last, but Tyre Slayer's not that much further up the road. And it's starting to hammer down with rain. And I've just realised there's only 4 minutes to go. So there's not many laps at all. Here we go. Ginge now. Out in front. Scott seems to have got his mojo back together again and is just starting to think about catching back up to Ginge. And Berserker Boy is now on his lonesome in 3rd place. The highest he's ever been in the series so far is 3rd. Would dearly like a 2nd place. Duncan on Racing Softs. You can see, let's go on board because you can see it's not that great a view from there, but you can see that the track is starting to dry up a little bit. But here we are on board with Gary. Duncan's already been to this corner once. Is he going to go straight on again? He is, you know. Duncan's getting that corner horribly wrong. Where's Stevie? So Gary's up to 4th. Where's Duncan going to rejoin? There's Duncan just ahead. But Stevie's got the better tyres. He's got wet tyres. But Duncan's Racing Soft might just start to be coming into effect again now. We're back down to... are we mildly moist? Just, yeah, moist. Mildly moist would be the bit below. So in the meantime, here we go then. So where are we on the circuit? Now about 3/4 of the way through. Ginge on the right set of tyres. He's keeping his nose out in front. We've got 1.5 minutes to go. Scott, not too far away. But anything can still happen in this last 1.5 minutes. Will they start another lap? Berserker Boy's got a good 3rd place for him. He's not made any mistakes. Made the right choice of tyres. Same for Gary. He's got a 4th. He's in 4th at the moment. Fast AMS been caught by Stevie. Nice little battle brewing here. Can Stevie get a nice drive around the inside of Duncan? It's difficult to know who's got the advantage. You know he can't because there is a dry racing line. But there goes Busby Boy up to 5th. Wow, Busby's caught everyone by surprise. Great drive from Busby here. The right tyres, right car. 4-wheel drive car on this circuit. Fantastic drive from Busby. He was down in 10th. But he's got all the way up through the field to 5th. Great driving there from Busby. Stevie's on wets. Must be suffering a little bit because the grip won't be quite as good. Duncan on Racing Softs. Really struggling. Benji got the right tyre, so he should be catching Duncan at now any point, some point soon. Let's go back a minute because it's around about now I start to have this I want to be 2nd feeling. I've never had a 3rd place. With the power of my mind. Crash, Scott. Crash. Oh look, he's crashed. Yeah, unfortunately Scott, bless him, as Berserker takes 2nd place. Scott, bless him, he had another internet issue. The Berserker's now up into second place with 18 seconds to go. Scott regathers himself. He's still in the race in third. He's got Gary there in fourth. Busby is now in fifth. Steve is in sixth. Duncan's now in seventh. Someone else has crashed. Who's crashed? Oh, it's Scott again. Scott bails out, but let's pause it. I know we're flicking. Let's just pause it because 30 minutes have gone. Here we go. So those guys in front have all just have still got one more lap to go. But here we go. Staff is going to finish in 9th place. At that point, we still had Scott in the race. He's in 8th place, but he's still in the race. And all of a sudden, Scott's going to disappear. Oh, he's still there. He's still there. Let's go back because it just gives Steve a bit of love. So here comes Staffy to finish. Steve is going to finish in 10th place. Here he comes. He's on the right tyre. We did pick up an extra place because here goes Steve crossing the line in 10th. Tyre Slayer with his racing soft tyres. Oh dear, poor Matt. Feel sorry for you, mate. Finishes in 11th. So they all finished before Scott left the room. Scott left the room. Scott left the room. Scott left the winner. No, that's one out of leg. And piff paff puff. I think he's off. He loses connection about now. So technically, Scott should at least get 8th place. In the meantime, let's go back on board with Ginge because Ginge had a great race. Got up through the field, coming round now to the bus stop chicane for a race win. 12 laps done. Great racing from Ginge. Right car, right set of tyres, right strategy. Superb race. Fast driver. There he goes. Fastest lap and everything. Does the triple. So Ginge finishes in first place. Berserker with tears in his eyes because this is the highest he's going to finish so far in the season. He's going to get a second place. He's had a third place, but he's not managed a second place, even though it's probably thanks to Scott's internet, but he's managed to get a second place podium. Gary's had a nice solid drive here. Has got up through the field, has got up into third place for the last podium position. Great drive from Gary. But Busby boy is still battling with Duncan. Oh, it's a fight to the line. Who's going to get it? Oh no, Duncan has got it back. Duncan with those racing soft tyres just at the very end gets 4th place. Busby is 5th. Stevie Scooby 6th. Sorry. Yeah, Scooby Scooby 6th. Benji 7th. And there you have it. What an exciting race Spa was. The rain always makes my day. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope to see you again soon. I'll be doing the next 2 races as well. We shall see you all soon and take it easy. See you later. Bye.